Hey, what's up guys? Making another video. I got a pretty cool thing. I got a little mount for my phone, since my phone records better than my old camera. And it's a little mount that it secures to, and I can attach it to a tripod. I'll probably show you that in a little bit. But today, I'm going to be going over some stuff that I've done off camera. I did quite a bit. And I'm also going to be... I've got my BD up pipes here, since I got the old ones off. I got my regulated return done. So the regulated return, I just dropped a ratchet. I got it mounted over there. The lines are all tightened down on the unit itself. I did get the lines in the back of the heads all tightened down. I'm not going to go back there or underneath right now. I don't need to. But I got to figure out where I'm going to put these lines. I'm going to get the up pipes in before I do that, once I get them secure and permanently in. My intake manifold is completely in. I went through, I torqued all the fasteners on the inside. I got the covers all tightened down. I went ahead and installed the map sensor tube port. And I'm going to be putting in a new silicone hose in place of the old map hose right here. That one's cracked. That might have been giving me issues before, I'm not sure. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a new hose in. I got the sensor installed off the old manifold. I cleaned it, used some brake clean, got it nice and clean, put it in. So the manifold itself is ready to go. The valve covers also, I got them all the way on. That was fun. I do have one screw, bolt, whatever you want to call it here, that is missing. A while back when I did one injector, I had to drill it out because the fastener broke. I had to try to drill it out and get it out, so I need to find a replacement for that still. So I went ahead and left it this top corner one, that way I can access it later. I did get this coolant hose connected back up, and I have my coolant reroute in. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of tell that the hose is kinked. It's the way the kit came, so I'm actually going to go ahead and buy a 90-degree elbow from probably Ace Hardware or something, and cut the hose, and that way I can install that, and that way it's not kinked. But for now, I think I'm going to leave it. And once I get the degas bottle back in, I'll see how bad the kink is. If some coolant flows, that's good. I'll leave it for now, but I will definitely be putting an elbow in there. I don't know why the kit doesn't come with an elbow. I feel like it should. I mean, they don't cost that much. Just saying. My drain tube is uncovered right now. I'm going to be taking it off to put the new O-rings in. And then everything else is pretty much ready to go. Passenger side valve cover is completely on. I need to still put the nuts on the glow plug bracket here. I got the fastener in for this coolant hose tube into the manifold. That was tons of fun. It didn't line up very good, so I had to put a clamp. I put a clamp right here. This isn't any damage or anything. It's like a sticker or something. I also got the old belt is off. It's laying down there for now. So I got to get the new one in, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And then I can go ahead and put this shroud back on against the intake manifold. Start getting everything on the front nice and good to go. The fuel line, I need to figure out how I'm going to route it. I'm going to do that once I get the wiring harness in. And I was going to put my fuel injector harness on until I was wondering. So when I pulled all my old injectors out, I did notice that the far back driver's side injector, the clip was broken. So when I was trying to put this guy on, it might be hard to see. Let me try to get my finger in here. Right here, it looked like this was previously glued onto the injector, so there's like some super glue inside this crevice, and I can't get it out. I tried picking it out and said, it's not really worth it. And since this harness is however old it may be, I'm actually ordering a new one. I'm not going to get a OEM. There's a lot of them on Amazon that have really good reviews, and I want to try one of those out first. The one I'm looking at, I think, is $88, and OEM is like $220. So I'm going to try to save a little bit of money. We'll see how it works. If it doesn't work, then that's fine. I'll go ahead and order an OEM. or try to fix the one that I get. Anyways, so the BD up pipes again. It's the 3-piece. You got the passenger side, driver side, and then the actual part that goes to the turbos up here. And I want to, so I have this fiberglass heat wrap stuff that I've had sitting forever. I was going to use it on my Jeep build, but I ended up not using it. It wasn't really worth it since I didn't have an aftermarket manifold. So I'm actually going to use this on the BD up pipe. I'm not going to cover the bellows. I'm just going to go from here pretty much all the way down to where this can still turn freely. I might put some on here. Yeah, I'll probably put a little bit. But I think I'm going to leave the bellows uncovered. I think it would look funny if I cover them and then it gets kind of fat to here. So I'm going to leave these uncovered. I'm not too worried about it. I know that they'll put out a lot of heat, obviously, but this little section's not really going to make much of a difference. So I'm just going to heat wrap here. I've never done this before either. I've never used this stuff, so it's going to be kind of fun. I think I'm going to time lapse it, and should be a good time. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Alright, so I don't know if I did this right. For those people who have done heat wrap before, all I did was take these clamp doohickers. I ran it through, pulled as tight as I could, and then folded it over. It's kind of loose, but it's not going anywhere, to say the least. I feel like the wrap I could have done a little bit tighter, but I don't know if I'm supposed to clamp down here. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, and I think I'm going to run another clamp on this end right here as well, but it should definitely help. All this, the heat's not going to be so bad, so I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Obviously not quite as long. Just put a little bit on here, and just to help reduce heat on this part here. So if you've done this before, or if you do this professionally, let me know how terrible of a job I did. I think it looks okay though. It doesn't look too bad. It's gonna be hidden, but I think it actually looks good. Was it done right? I don't know. I tried to keep, while I was spiraling, I tried to keep overlapping about halfway. You can see I didn't do quite halfway, but it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna finish clamping this down. I think I'm gonna leave down here alone. I don't think it's gonna unravel. Should be fine. If I have the clamps left over, I might do one, but I'll be right back. All right, out with the old, in with the new. So I got the new ones here. I finished heat wrapping this one. It's not the prettiest job ever, but it'll help. It'll definitely help. I left the bellows alone on both of them. Boom. So these new ones look really good. I got these clamps on. They're pretty loose, so I can still move them on both sides. I don't know where I'm gonna want the adjustments to be, so I'm gonna be throwing this one in. I'm not gonna record throwing it in. I'm gonna just throw it in off camera because this isn't a how-to video. So, but looking at these two, the old one that I have here, you can see where I put my EGR delete in a long time ago. It had this extra tube, and it used to be silver. It used to be silver just like this, and it's discolored over time from heat and all that good stuff. These don't leak at all. I have no issues with these up pipes whatsoever, but I just wanted to upgrade while I was at it, and you can see the difference. You can see this one kind of just splits, and it's a solid hole. And the two pipes just come in and kind of go bloop. This one is much bigger, you can see. So, you got your exhaust gas coming in, and then this one, try and move it without loosening too much stuff, but it's got the split. So it's got a true 2 coming in to the turbo, which is great. The pressure is not going to kind of mix before it hits the turbo. It's just going to go straight in. And I like the 3-piece setup. I feel like it's going to be a little bit easier getting my turbo seated if I can kind of wiggle this around. I'm going to leave these loose the way they are. I'm going to go ahead and throw try to throw it in and get these bolts started on the manifolds. And then I'm going to have the whole assembly kind of loose. That way when I put the turbo in, I'm going to tighten this down to the turbo first. And then I'll go through, I'm going to tighten these and the manifold bolts and get those all good to go. So I ended up putting 2 clip ring, I don't know what these are called, metal zip ties, I guess. I put 1 on the ends, you can see on one end, and then 2 at the top to kind of hold. It's just a little bit frayed. It should be fine. I'm petting it like it's a cat. That's weird. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this in. Try to anyways. I'm going to get the bolts started with the nuts. I got a new nuts and bolts over here. It came with a new set. Got nuts, bolts, all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in, and I will be right back. All right, it is partially in. I went ahead and put finger tight 1 bolt on each side. The other 2 bolts are in, but they're not. The nuts aren't on. That way it's a little bit loose. They're seated all the way on the manifolds, and they look pretty good. And it looks like both nuts for the upper side of the manifolds are in a position that I will be able to hit them with a ratchet wrench. Go ahead and tighten them down. I might turn this one a little bit more towards me. This one is in a pretty good position. Once the turbo is in, it's going to be like right, big old spot right here. I should be able to tighten that guy down. And this one I'm going to adjust a little bit. But once I get the turbo in, I'm going to clamp it down and then we'll be pretty good. And I'm going to need to route my hose a little bit better and get my fuel lines how I want them. I don't know if I should have put them behind the manifold. I'm not sure. We'll kind of we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try and get both of them in between, maybe drop them down a little bit further. And if I have to, I'll bring these hoses back instead of down and try to get those to fit a little bit better. But next episode is going to be getting the turbo in, seated, all that good stuff, and probably the belt. I gotta put the new belt on, and then once I get the new belt on, I'll be able to button up the shroud here, and then I'm gonna start routing the wiring harness, start hooking up sensors and all that good stuff. Hopefully get this thing done by at least next weekend. I'm not 100% sure yet. Next weekend I'm going to be kind of working, so we'll see. But I would love to be able to get this thing turned over, try to get it started before I get the new tune done. I should have taken the strategy number before I took my batteries out, but I should be able to get it started, or at least be able to see that it is going to start before I get the new tunes. So we'll see. We will see.